Hey y'all, I'm going to try shaking these videos up a little bit, changing the format a little bit. We'll see how it goes. If you have any questions that I haven't answered through the videos, leave me a comment in the comments, and I'll try to include more of those sorts of things. And also, if there are things that you like that you're seeing, let me know and I'll try to include a little bit more of that as well. I'll see you at the end. Hey guys, it's day 6. We're heading out of Neels Gap Mountain Crossings, heading to Low Gap Shelter. It's about an 11-mile hike. Looks like it's going to be about 60 degrees today all day, and rainy, and you can see the mist behind me. Not too many elevation changes, a couple 300 feet climbs and descents, but nothing more than that. Really not much to speak of. Most of the overlooks today are probably going to be shrouded in clouds, so probably not much to see, but let's give it a shot. See you down the trail. Well, the weatherman didn't disappoint. It is as forecast, overcast, rainy. This is overlook at 3,622 feet. We hiked about 12 miles from Neels Gap to Low Gap, and we had about a 700-mile climb at the beginning, and then, a 700-foot climb in the beginning, and then several smaller climbs after that. So a good bit of the day was in the rain. The rain just beat down on us the majority of the day, and then here in the last probably about 2 hours or so, it started to clear up, and you can see the sun is shining now, so things are starting to dry up a little bit. Able to get my clothes hung up and get the tent set up in the dry, which is really pretty nice, not to have to be fighting the rain to set up the tent. And so now it's time for dinner. Tomorrow we've got another big day. We're going to cover 2 big mountains tomorrow, Blue Mountain and Rocky Mountain. So those should be pretty good challenges. Both of those are about 1,000 feet of climb, and then of course 1,000 feet of descent afterward as well. So a couple really great days, some of our toughest days, and I guess we'll just keep on plugging. Here's the shelter at Low Gap. It's down in the valley, sheltered on all sides. I guess that makes it an attractive shelter. Water's close by here as well, which is very convenient. It's day 7. Not sure exactly what time it is, probably just a little bit before 8. And we're gonna break camp here, head to cheese factory site. On the way we'll climb Blue Mountain and also Rocky Mountain, and those are both about 1,000 feet. So today we'll cover about 3,400 feet of ascent in total. Lots of overlooks and stuff like that, so it should be a pretty good day. Of course, it's going to rain a good bit of the day. I don't know if you can tell, but it's gray and overcast right now. Hopefully we'll catch a window to get some photos. See y'all down the trail. This is a lot of what we're seeing throughout most of the day. A lot of tree cover, but watching the ridge in the distance. And every now and then we get a clearing and we can see down through the valley. This looks an awful lot like Pennsylvania. We just summited Rocky Mountain, and the payoff was well worth it. Look at that view. That ridge in the distance looks like it's going to be a tough one to get over. We just came down off of Rocky Mountain, and this gentleman Dave here had a grill set up and is cooking hot dogs and sausages, and he also has some sodas. Pretty awesome. This is trail magic right here. Hey y'all, it's day 8. We're getting ready to break camp, make our way down to Dix Creek Gap, get into Hiawassee. I have a mail drop there, and we'll pick that up tonight or tomorrow morning and then head back on the trail. So about 14 miles again today, another 3,000 miles of ascent, or I'm sorry, 3,000 feet of ascent. 3,000 miles would be a lot. About 3,000 feet of ascent and 3,400 feet of descent. So it's going to be a pretty rough day, but we'll make the best of it. I'll catch you on down the trail. Well friends, that is Tray Mountain right there. We're about to go climb up over it. Well, here we are at the top of Tray Mountain. It's been about a half an hour, and you can see how the visibility has changed dramatically. Here is one of the many fresh mountain streams that we're getting water out of. We're coming down the backside of Kelly Knob now. We've been hiking for several hours, and you can see we're still experiencing whiteout conditions. But we're moving. It's keeping us warm. Well, the rain has finally let up. We just came down off of Powell Mountain. We hiked about almost 14 miles today. Now we're gonna meet up with a shuttle and head into Hiawassee. See how that goes. Well, I'm here to pick up my mail drop. Let's go see if they have it ready for me. I don't know, after my resupply it's going to be hard to fit all this stuff back in this can. I got everything packed in there. Looks like somebody's having a yard sale here in this hotel room. Well, all packed up and ready to go. We're in the shuttle on the way back to Dix Creek Gap, and here is the northern Georgia countryside. It's a beautiful place. Just got back on the trail at Dix Creek Gap, and it's pretty much straight up right away. We just crested and kind of on the ridge now. Sure is beautiful out there. I think this is the best view we're going to get for a little bit, but it's all right. Look at those ridges. Hear that wind. We just rolled into Plum Orchard Gap shelter just to see what it looked like. Stop and get a snack. I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's very light flurries coming down right now. But it's a pretty nice day, about 37 degrees. Wind's blowing kind of heavy, but it's been pretty good otherwise. Good day for a hike. Goodbye, Georgia. Thanks for your hospitality. Hello, North Carolina. Okay, we're here on top of Courthouse Bald. We just crossed Sharp Top. We're at about 4,400 feet. You can see down in Hiawassee, that's where we were this morning. It's probably about 30 degrees up here. The wind is blowing, but man, is it ever worth it. Good morning. I believe it's day 10 today. It's a brisk morning. Temperatures this morning were in the teens. Was not a very restful night, but I got through it. Here at Muskrat Creek Shelter, and we're going to make our way to Carter Gap Shelter today. That's about 12.5 from where we're at. This is a pretty nice shelter here. We got here after dark. Temperature started dropping pretty quickly, And I'll show you here in just a minute. You can see how the ground froze. It froze really fast. You can see here the ice pushing up through the dirt. And we started seeing this about 4 o'clock last night as we were hiking up here. So we got here to the shelter at about 6:30, and the ground was already frozen hard. So I'm setting up the tent in the almost in the dark on frozen ground. Here's the shelter. It's a nice shelter, nice overhang. I like that. And you can see over there in the distance the gray of my tent. Yeah, I'm all packed up now, but one thing I won't be wearing for much of the day today is my fleece. As you can see here, it's got ice on it. That's not dirt. This is my icy sweat from yesterday. I believe that is a window into the future. Yeah, we're coming up to Standing Indian Shelter to have second breakfast. It's a nice little shelter. It's got a nice overhang. I'm standing here on the top of Standing Indian Mountain. This is an elevation of about 4,500 feet. There's a lot of mountains out there. Got all my stuff set up. Got my tent pitched and my clothing hung out to dry. Got my bedding made. Switched into my sleeping clothes. Now I'm going to go check out the shelter. Well, it's day 10. Yeah, last night was brutal. Actually, yesterday in general was very cold, but last night was the coldest we've had yet. Temperatures in the teens and windy. And I don't think I slept at all, not more than 15 minutes at a time. So tonight, it's not 6 o'clock yet, and I am bundled up in my sleeping bag. I'm definitely going to get some sleep tonight. Good morning, it's day 11. Just leaving Carter Gap Shelter, heading over Albert Mountain, and we're going to end up today in Rock Gap Shelter. Altogether about 12 miles, about 1,000 feet of elevation gain in the one climb, and altogether about 2,400 feet of elevation gain. But looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer today. Sun's shining so far, so ought to be a good day. First good view of the morning.
Right now, so that's the way to do it. What to do? Yeah, park. So I got to get in the pack pretty quick.
There's nothing like coffee, peanut butter, and dry socks. Up there is the Albert Mountain Fire Tower. We got to get up there so we can climb up in that baby. We're scrambling up Albert Mountain, which wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the 30-pound pack. Gets the lungs going though, gets the legs. Here's the view from the top of Albert Mountain Fire Tower. Got about 270 degrees of mountains. I'm not sure everything that you can see down there. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of mountains. And it's just beautiful. Hey y'all, it's day 12. We're heading out of Rock Gap, going to Wyabald today. Going to take a day 0 tomorrow. Looks like about 2,000 or 2,600 feet of elevation climb today up over a couple mountains, and I'll give you a little bit of taste of that along the way. A little mountain television. We've been hiking for about 2 hours now. The sun is out, it's a beautiful day, and we're going to stop and eat second breakfast. We're climbing up Bald. It's a slow, gradual uphill. Been climbing for a couple hours, and we got a few hundred more feet. Well, we popped out of the woods right here, but the trail up to Bald goes on. Here it is, the view from on top of Bald. About 5,100, 5,200 feet. Nothing but mountains. The walk down is most excellent. We just stopped for lunch, and we have about a 1,000-foot climb. It's going to take us about 2 hours to get there. Slow and steady wins the race. We're just coming up on Bald. It's been a long day, 14 miles, a whole lot of climbing. I'm ready to put my feet up. It's been a rough one. That's the fire tower up there. Let's go give it a look. Here is a 270 or at least a 180 view from Bald. Man, what a beautiful place, a beautiful day. Climb up here kicked my butt today though. Yep, the tower was cool. The view was beautiful. But we just finished 12 days of hiking and about 128 miles and about 54,000 feet of elevation change altogether. It's time for a break. So we're here at Forest Service Road 69. We've walked this section before, but we had a little snafu on directions because, as you see, this gate is locked. So our transport couldn't make it to the top of Bald to pick us up. So now we're going to walk the road to get back to where we were once before. Day 14 begins. All right, we're back here to where we left off on day 12 at Bald, and away we go. We're going to try making it today to Bald, which is about 12 miles away. We already put in about 4 miles on the service road to get back here where we left off, and I don't know, it looks to be a pretty good day. The sun is trying to break through. The temperature is really wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to it. Rested legs, rested body, full belly. You need water? Well, we've been hiking for a couple hours. Haven't seen another hiker yet. And we're coming up on Cold Spring Shelter. And let's see if anybody's here. Nope, nobody's home. We're gonna stop here and eat lunch though. Looks like there are actually a few overlooks up here. Just as I suspected. Quite an overlook indeed. Yeah, we've been hiking for about 4 hours today and we haven't seen another hiker. But here's a beautiful green tunnel. I'm at the top of a Bald observation tower, and man, it is spectacular. You can pretty much get a 360-degree view of the mountains of North Carolina. And I bet you there's a chance we can see part of Tennessee from here as well. It's just amazing. All right, here we are. We made our way down to, what's the name of the shelter? We made our way down here to Wesser Bald Shelter. Looks like there's not a lot of people here today. We've seen very little people on the trail all day today. Actually only 2 people so far. And there appeared to be no tenters at this shelter. So here's the Wesser Bald Shelter. It's a pretty nice one. It looks like an older shelter. Must have been around for a while. Well, it's day 14, sitting here at Wesser Bald Shelter. I just about have all my stuff packed up. Looking out the tent, I see the mist rolling across the top of the mountain here. We're headed down to Knock and then up to Chia Bald today. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. Got about a 16-mile hike to Locust Grove Gap campsite. Might be a tough day today. About 8,000 feet of elevation change altogether, and one big climb of about 3,300 feet. So, gonna be a tough day, but we'll get through it. That's the way to start off a morning. Much of this trail today has been on a narrow ridge run. You can see we're on this sort of vein right on the top, and to the left valley, and to the right valley. Nothing but beautiful views though. Looks like we're gonna start this steep descent down to Nantahala Outdoor Center. It's getting much more technical, rocky, and dangerous. We got a smoother run here. You can see this trail tracing back into the hollow and then shouldering out across. I wasn't prepared for all this beautiful scenery this morning. You may notice in some of the videos a greenish hue to some of the trees, and you can see here the culprit. This is a combination of lichen and old man's beard. It's covering a lot of the trees and just gives them that little bit of a greenish tint. Yeah, we just came down the mountain a few thousand feet, and we're coming up to Rufus Morgan Shelter, and I'm just going to pop in and see if anybody's here, see if there's anybody I know. Nope, no one home. This is kind of a cool shelter though. This is another one of the older shelters. This shelter's probably been around for a while. Not much tent space here either. This wouldn't have been the best place for us to stay. We had considered this as an option. Here comes the rain. Looks like it's forecast to rain off and on for the next 10 days, so we're just pretty much going to have to get used to it and deal with it. Okay, we're coming out of the woods here at Knock, which is also known as Nantahala Outdoor Center. Not a lot of activity happening here this morning. Yeah, let's stop in here at the river's end and get something to eat. Now that's some calories. Well, we're just a minute or so outside of Knock, and the big climb begins. About 3,300 feet. Here we go.
There are steps like.
Here's some obvious recent trail maintenance. Some kind folks are up here dragging their chainsaw up into the woods to clear this trail so we can get through. And it's much appreciated. Now, we've been hiking up and up for about 2.5 hours now, and we just got to this spot here called the Jump Up. And it's cloudy today, but it's still pretty. And we still have a ways to go. Looky there, you can see the knock from here. Keeps going up and up. It's the evening of day 14, and we ended up deciding to stop at Sassafras Gap Shelter, which was just a few miles short of Locust Grove campsite. The hike up here was pretty rough. It was only about 12 miles, but the terrain was pretty tough. And after stopping at Knock to have lunch, we ate up some of our time. So it just seemed to make the most sense just to stop and get our tents set up and get ready for bed, because it'll be another day. We still have another couple miles up to Chillabald and several hundred feet of climb to get up there, and then a big downhill tomorrow as well. So we're going to try to make it to Cable Gap Shelter. That's about a 16-mile day tomorrow, and that lines us up to get into Fontana Dam the following day. So we'll see how that all works out. Good morning. It's day 15, about 7:30 or so. Been raining for hours, and I just about have my tent broken down at this point. I've been breaking it down from the inside out. It's nothing left to do but actually take down the tent. So today we're going to try to hike about 16 miles to Cable Gap, which may be a little tricky in this rain. We still have a couple miles up to Chillabald, so we still have several hundred feet of elevation gain and a few miles to get to Chillabald, and then big descent. Ought to be an interesting day. Well, on the trail, the weather forecast indicated that the rain was going to have pulled out by now, but it hasn't yet. Blowing pretty hard still, and the rain's still coming down. Hopefully it'll stop here before too long. Not much to see today at Choa Gap, except for this guy walking in front of my camera. Well, the rain is broken, at least for now, but as you can see, the trail is pretty narrow and it's really slick because everything is wet. We have some spots that are pretty technical as well. The lichen, moss, and old man's beard really stands out today in this wet weather. We might get a little sunshine today after all. These wooden stairs like this can be treacherous when it's wet. The wood gets really slick. These are pretty steep. We just got down here to Sequoia Gap, and it's really just a road crossing with a couple picnic tables and trash cans, but it also offers us an opportunity to hang out some stuff to dry after all that rain last night. And it'd be easy to underestimate the value of a trash can. Like I said, this makes a good clothesline until it starts raining again.